most Americans have never read the document they are about to celebrate this weekend. Surveys every July say the same thing. People know the famous line about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Past that, almost nobody has actually read the Declaration of Independence from start to finish. This isn't me being mean. That's just the stats that come up year after year. We salute the flag, we have fireworks, we listen to songs about freedom, and almost none of us have actually sat down and read the Declaration of Independence for ourselves. Today, I'm going to guide you through it a little bit. The document is shorter than you think. The whole thing is around 1,300 words. It's about the length of one of these videos, and you could probably read it in about 10 minutes. It has three main parts. It's got the preamble, the list of grievances, and the declaration itself with the signer's pledge at the bottom. So let's walk through all three of these. First, you have the preamble. This is the part that everybody's heard a few words of, even if they don't realize what they've heard. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with the certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's the famous sentence. Now, here's what it actually says. Self-evident. The framers are claiming that these truths, they don't have to be argued for. They are baked into reality of life, endowed by their Creator. It means the rights don't come from the king. They don't come from a government. They come from God, your Creator. And that's why no government can rightfully take them away. That's the whole intellectual foundation of every freedom you have on any given day. The preamble was written mostly by Thomas Jefferson, who was 33 at the time. He was working alongside a committee of 5 appointed by the Continental Congress. He was with John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Robert Sherman, and Robert Livingston. Jefferson did most of the writing, and the other 4 did the editing. And the second part is the list of grievances. This is the part where most people skip over it. There's 27 specific complaints against King George III. The Declaration is making its case, is showing why the colonies are justified in cutting their ties. The grievances are covering things like the king dissolving a colonial legislature, or making judges dependent on him for their salaries, or requiring the quartering of British troops in the colonists' home, or cutting off the colonists' trade with the rest of the world. He also is imposing taxes without their consent, and he's depriving the colonists of a trial by jury. These 27 items, they're not vague complaints, they are documented offenses. The Declaration is essentially a legal brief making a public case for why the relationship between the colonies and the crown, it's already broken down beyond repair. Something worth noting, there was a grievance that Jefferson originally wrote and Congress edited it out. Jefferson wrote a passage condemning King George for the slave trade. Congress removed it to preserve unity among the colonists, many of which were participants in the slave trade themselves. That's part of the actual record. You can read about it in Jefferson's original rough draft at the Library of Congress. The Declaration we celebrate today is not the Declaration Jefferson originally wrote. So the third piece is the closing. After the case is made, the Declaration ends with the actual declaration and the signer's pledge. The final sentence is the one you should know if you don't know any other line in the document besides the preamble. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of the divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Read that again slowly. Our lives, fortune, and our sacred honor. These are not abstract pledges. These men are signing what was at the moment a treason document. The King of Great Britain had every legal right under the British Empire to have every one of them hanged and their property seized. That was what was on the table. And they all put their name down. We'll talk more on Wednesday and Thursday about what actually happened to some of the men who signed the Declaration of Independence. For today, you have a simple task. Read the Declaration from top to bottom. Read it out loud if you have kids that are old enough to follow along. You can get the full text at the National Archives website. Don't read the summary. Read the whole thing itself. It's not that long. You'll be surprised how readable it is. And you're also going to be surprised how much of what you think you know about it, was a thin summary of a much heavier document. Then go through it once more and ask yourself, which of those 27 grievances is still familiar? Because that's a conversation worth having with somebody you love. Many of those still apply today that we should have some serious conversations about. Tomorrow, we'll look at a man whose ride made the vote for independence possible. His name is not Paul Revere, and most of you have probably never heard of him. But that's going to change tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.